legislation, but Ohio is not one of them.
It is died in committee every single year.
Marin says despite a social media campaign last year, she has not been able to figure out why Senate Education Chair Andrew Brenner did not allow for a vote.
Sadly, once again, for the 5th year, it died in Ohio.
The I-team reached out to Senator Brenner. He says while he likely would have supported Aaron's law, he did not have the votes to pass it out of his committee because a majority of members felt it took away control from local districts. If Aaron's law were to pass in Ohio, it would change state policy. Right now, the Department of Education spokesperson told the I-team state law currently mandates that local districts get to decide what health education is taught. Within that, the state only requires districts teach personal safety and assault prevention and related topics.
They need to get better wording in there.
Marin says without a key phrase, the current law has a loophole.
You need to get in the word sexual abuse and prevention.
Local experts say that specific type of education is key for children.
It starts giving them permission and that empowerment to know that if something doesn't feel right in their body and they're not comfortable with something, that they can tell somebody.
Amy Fornshell is the manager of the Warren County Child Advocacy Center, whose staff assisted the girls in the Hopkins case.
Does this seem to be a top priority for lawmakers?
Absolutely. I think the sooner that we can provide this information to kids and their families and the language and prevent it, the better we'll be as a state.
But Marin says Ohio is nowhere close to moving forward with this legislation.
Ohio's one of the few states that there's 3, that do not have a legislator sponsoring this bill.
It has to be required. And then maybe one of the girls would have said something.
What do you want the message to be to state lawmakers?
What's taking so long?
For the I-team, Molly Koick, News Center 7.
Senator Brenner also told the I-team lawmakers on his committee were concerned about where funding would come from for Aaron's law education. Marin says funding has been available since 2015 as part of a federal law, and all local districts would have to do is ask the feds for the money. Senator Brenner told me he didn't know about those federal funds. Last month, Hopkins' attorney said his client totally denied prosecutors' charges. To see an extended interview with the Springboro family you just heard from, download our free WHIO streaming app for Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Our previous I-team investigations are also available on the app.
Meteorologist McCall Vrydaghs joins us. Nice night here in the Miami Valley.
Yeah, it really is. We've got mainly clear skies. We had some cloud cover that was around earlier. Even a few spots had some isolated downpours around 2-3 o'clock, and that was with a cold front that was nudging off to the east. It's not necessarily bringing in cooler air, but more so the fact that it has drier conditions and lowering humidity as we head through tonight into most of your day tomorrow. But there are going to be changes as we head towards the weekend, and that's going to be a lot in part to the fact that there is a tropical system that's going to start to move back up towards the Miami Valley. The center of that system is just about 85 miles to the southeast of Louisiana near the Mississippi River. But on the east side, you can see how the moisture is being pulled up already into the southeastern part of the U.S. As this low pressure starts to move northward, it's going to push that moisture into our area. We'll feel the heat and humidity climbing once again. And then eventually we'll be dealing with the threat for rain as that storm system comes very close to the Miami Valley. As we look at our current conditions with Tropical Storm Barry, it has winds of 50 miles per hour, so that's up about 10 miles per hour since earlier on this evening when you joined me on News Center 7 at 5 and 6 o'clock. But very slow moving, only to the west at about 3 miles per hour. The latest update from the National Hurricane Center came in about 20 minutes ago, still keeping it mainly a tropical storm as it moves towards the southern coast of Louisiana. There is the potential that late Friday night before Saturday morning, right before it makes landfall, that this storm system may become a Category 1 hurricane, then quickly weaken as it comes on shore up around Baton Rouge just to the east side of Lake Charles, and then continues northward and then eventually northeast as it gets caught in the jet stream, bringing the potential for that storm system into the Miami Valley as we get towards Tuesday into Tuesday night. So here's Futurecast showing you the path of that storm. It'll be around Saturday evening that we'll see the center of the storm making landfall, as I mentioned, down around Lake Charles. It'll begin to move northward. On Sunday, we may start to see the first impacts of this storm as we'll get some moisture feeding up to the Miami Valley. May have some pop-up showers and thunderstorms for the second half of your weekend. Similar conditions on Monday. We'll have some pop-up storms with the outer bands of this system, and then eventually it looks to move right overhead or at least close by Tuesday night, and that'll be our most significant chance for widespread rainfall and even a few storms as it moves on through. As for tonight, though, we keep it clear. It'll be comfortable. We fall to 64 degrees. Tomorrow we'll get up to 82 degrees. It'll be warm but not too humid. Humidity is dropping off, so if you're headed to the Montgomery County Fair, great news there. Just make sure you put the sunblock on. Saturday, the Dayton Strong Benefit Concert. I'll be emceeing the first part of that concert. It starts at 1 o'clock. It'll be steamy. Humidity builds back in for Saturday. At least we'll stay mostly sunny throughout the day. And country concert, full swing this weekend. Great forecast. It'll just be hot, especially towards those afternoon hours. And as I showed you just a little bit ago, on Sunday, there may be a few pop-up thunderstorms for Sunday afternoon. So keep an eye on the sky as you're headed out to enjoy the fun this weekend. We'll have a few more pop-up storms on Monday. Still warm. We're up close to 90 degrees. And then we'll see the remnants of Barry coming through Tuesday into Wednesday. Meteorologist Dante Jones will have the latest on Tropical Storm Barry beginning at 4:25 on Daybreak Edition.
You know, when somebody takes a car that's not theirs, they are likely to face problems. Take a police cruiser for a joyride going 100 miles an hour, and that only makes the situation even more serious. That is exactly what investigators said a Michigan woman did. Look at this. The police said she stole the officer's SUV while he was responding to a call. She ended up slamming into that other SUV. She told police she just wanted to have some fun.
Buying medical marijuana here in the Miami Valley is now a reality.
Where Montgomery County's first dispensary sits and how much patients have to pay for each prescription.